Today I want to talk about something that a lot of us have no clue about. We think we do, but we don't. And today I want to talk about boundaries and healthy boundaries. Now imagine that your life is like a garden. And in that garden, there are different things. And then all of a sudden, people just come and start dumping. First of all, you created this garden beautifully. And you have nice flowers. You've really curated your garden to be so beautiful. And then somebody just comes because you haven't got covers around, you haven't got a fence around. Then they just start to throw pure water paper, bottles, cloth, refuse in your beautiful garden. How would you feel? You feel bad about your garden. But what you don't know is that your garden is like your life. As your life hasn't got its fences and shields to cover it, and people just believe that they can come in and dump anything at you, give you anything and everything. Just as I created that picture, it weakened me that I'm even talking about it. That's why I had to breathe. But just imagine that you were, like everybody's like a dumping refuse, looking for where to throw their refuse, and you are the one. Why do you want to be the one? Why do you want to be the one that every person or people with bad behavior and character and personalities and manners, why would you be their scapegoat? But you really aren't. It's because you have not got boundaries. Now, boundaries, some people think, is for the other person not to come in. Boundaries are also for you to teach yourself the things that are good for you, right? Boundaries is a part of self-love for sure. And so healthy boundaries create a sacred space for yourself, for your growth, for your life in general. It protects your energy. It allows you prioritize yourself without feeling guilty. Picture boundaries as fences, as I just said, that keeps the toxicity out, and you can nurture your dreams properly in your life. Now, some of the things that you can do, and boundaries are not walls, but they're bridges. It just keeps people. It's not to say, I create a wall, and then you create a wall of Jericho that is even higher than you and nobody can see through you. I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying hide from people or stay away from people. Do not allow people come close. I just had to chip that in. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, what are the things that are healthy for you and work for you? You've got to start to teach people that, right? It will help you love yourself more. You won't find yourself burnt out. You won't find yourself angry. You won't find yourself resentful towards others, thinking that they're taking advantage of you. The truth is, nobody takes advantage of you. You give them permission to. So what are some of the things that, creating healthy boundaries can do for you? First, self-reflection. Again, I always go to self-reflection. You've got to take out time to know what your boundaries are. You've got to take out time to know what your values are. You've got to take out time to know what your needs are. You've got to take out time to know what your limits are. There's a saying, there's a time for everything, right? Same thing with boundaries. There's a time to be lazy. There's a time to be hardworking. There's a time to be running. There's a time to stop running and pause. There's a time for everything. And setting and knowing what those things are, understanding yourself, is the first step to creating meaningful boundaries. Then identifying your boundaries. What are your boundaries? Map them out. Map out the areas of your life where you want to put the bridges. Remember what I called it? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your work? Is it with your children? Your children cannot just say, Mommy, do this, Mommy, do that, or Daddy, do this. They have to also understand that there's a time and place for everything. You've got to teach them boundaries as well. You've got to teach them things like locking their door, having their private space, you having your private space. You've got to teach them that you can't just be walked on. So one, self-reflection. What are your limits? What are your needs? What are your values? What makes you uncomfortable? What drains you? You've got to know these things, especially as an adult. You've got to know these are the things when these people, are there people that call you that you look at your phone and say, not today. I'm not talking to you today. I don't have your energy. Those are the people that you need to put boundaries for. And some of them are family members, very close for that matter. Yes. Then you want to identify the areas where your boundaries are needed. Is it in your relationship? Is it with your spouse? Is it with your kids? Is it at work? Is it your personal time? Recognizing this area will allow you to become more specific, and then you're able to create something, wholesome. You want to communicate your boundaries clearly, first to yourself and then to others. You let them know, I really appreciate the time that you want to spend with me, but I cannot give you that time right now. Can we schedule it for another time? Maybe in 3 hours or 4. I do it with my children as well. Sometimes I send them all out of my room. I want to lie down by myself in my room alone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to say anything to anybody. I don't want to see anybody. I used to feel guilty in the past, but now, I can teach you how to do it. Another thing is learning how to say no. That magic word. Before we said the magic word is please, thank you. The magic word is no. Remember in one of my videos, I said you've got to learn how to say no in different ways. Nada, nehi, any way, any language. And just stand in front of your mirror and just practice it. If anybody just, nope, nah. Just practice it. Learn how to say no and practice saying it without any guilt. Because saying no and now feeling bad that, oh, did I just reject him or did I just reject her? No. Is saying no so that the yes that you say is empowering. You have to prioritize self-care. Self-care, once again, is not selfish. It's a vital component of a flourishing life. Let me say that again. Self-care is a vital component of a flourishing life. You cannot give what you do not have. So schedule time for this self-care every day. Find activities that give you joy and relaxation. It could be a bubble bath, as simple as that. But you can soak and just play music and just talk to yourself and enjoy yourself. Your own time, that's why it's called self-care. Don't go and call anybody to come and stay with you because you can't stay by yourself. Stay by yourself. Learn how to love your own company. Adjust as needed. Don't say, oh, this is my boundary and that's it. Sometimes you might need to be flexible. Don't be too rigid. But you're only flexible based on what still works for you. I could never say no at some point to my husband. When he says, oh, can we do that? Oh, yeah, no problem. Because I was a people pleaser. I would say yes to the things and I'll be grumbling within myself that why did I agree to this thing? So at a point, I had to change that around, honestly. I had to start to ask myself, would this thing give you joy? Once the answer is no, I'll just say, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Why? No reason. I just don't want to do it. Or I might even go as far as saying, I don't feel like doing it, or I won't feel. But I had to learn how to choose me and choose no as one of my weapons. Enlist support. Get people to help you. Don't be that kind of person that says, I must do everything, especially as a woman. We are taught that we do everything for everybody. We are nurse, we are doctor, we are cleaner, we are prostitute, we are everything. We're everything. And then nothing for yourself. And so at the end of the day, you feel so bad that I put my life on pause for my husband. I put my life on pause for my children. I've got nothing for myself. And then you're resentful towards them. Then you don't allow those children breathe. You now believe that you own them just because you put your... Meanwhile, they didn't ask you. They didn't ask you to put your life on pause. You chose to. And most people pleasers, they didn't ask you. You are the one that said, I will help you. Then you are not upset that they did not thank you for helping them when they didn't ask you. So get support. Get a nanny if you need to. And then allow the nanny do her work or his work. Don't then say, you didn't clean it my way. Your way is not the only way, ma or sir. Your way is a way, not the way. So find support. Get the support that you need, especially if you can afford it. And don't kill yourself for nothing. There's no medal for the strongest woman. No medal. There's no medal for the strongest man. Oh, I died for my family. God didn't send you to come and die for anybody. He asked you to come and live your life to the fullest, not come and die for anybody. Don't fool yourself. All they will say is, and she was such a hardworking woman, or he was such a kind, hardworking slave of a man. Nobody's going to get up and say, stop. If you teach people that you can give them continuously, they will collect continuously. So stop giving and start receiving today. And lastly, celebrate your successes. When you say no, celebrate yourself and enter your room and just pat yourself on your back and say, I said no. You know that practice that you have been doing, you have to put it to work now. You have to put it to work. So, mommy, can I have? No. Mommy, can you help me? No. Then enter your room and celebrate yourself, because what gets celebrated gets repeated. And you are acknowledging that you are taking bold steps to your own health and livelihood. Let me call it that way. So remember, guys, creating healthy boundaries is an act of self-love. And it's like nurturing your garden and your soul. And watch how your emotional well-being blossoms into a life filled with purpose and joy. Take these steps today, Don't be everything for everybody and nothing for yourself. So today I want you to take a moment and reflect on your boundaries and follow all the steps that I've shared. Know it, call it, name it, and then tell it to people, and then get help. You didn't come to die for anybody, okay? You came to live a beautiful life, and that you can live. So I want you to try it today. And don't forget, my mentorship class, Deep Dive with Adeola, is starting in February, and you've still got time. Limited spaces, however, and once we close because we're not going to admit anybody until 3 months' time. We're doing it in a block of 3 months, so that some people are not taking some people back. We're just going to do a nice full swing and people can really enjoy it. If 10 minutes of my time you got all this value, imagine what you can get with me, that you can ask questions for 90 minutes. So join us. It's very, very affordable, and you would thank me 3 months from now for joining the class. Love and light. My name is Adeola Kingsley James. Have a wonderful day.